One of the important issues that face all of us is how do we intervene upstream before inequality widens and becomes much harder and much firmer downstream. And early childhood education, which is one of our SDGs, we're just so far away from where we should be. We are way behind our targets. Only 20% of kids in the developing world have any form of education before primary school. But there are impressive examples. The report gives the example of Ethiopia, which in year 2000 had barely 2% of its kids in early childhood education of some sort, and now has over 45%. So it can be done, but it's critical to address inequalities when they start and not once they've grown and become much harder. One of the very important features of this report is that it gets us to avoid thinking about either growth or inequality. And a very important contribution of the report is to point out that there's a whole range of policies that are available to us that address both growth and inequality. And it's that space that has to occupy our minds. How do we use education? How do we use healthcare? How do we use housing? How do we use security to boost growth opportunities and to also mitigate inequality? I think the report has made a valuable contribution in avoiding what was a relatively empty debate and making it a lot richer. The report is the most holistic treatment that we've seen on inequality to date. It's been a large-scale international endeavor coordinated by the UNDP, but it's holistic. It thinks not just about income, not just about wealth, but thinks about the drivers of inequality: gender, early education disadvantages, healthcare disadvantages, geographical disadvantages. So what's important about the report is it forces us to think not just about inequality after it happens, but inequality before. And how do you address inequality at its source? And that's, I think, a very important way forward for all of us.